for the greater good. Nicola is looking for the botanist. Nicola is appropriating stuff for the botanist, which would be this little red building right here, right up the street. Evelyn wants to try to rouse the spirits of the peoples.
With Alistair's help.
With Alistair. Two of you will go to the town square.
Oh, God, this is going to be embarrassing.
Oh, this is going to be great. That leaves Lucius and Morrigan. What are these two going to do?
I asked Morrigan to barricade up the north entrance.
Oh, well, she is very happy to do that.
She's like,
wait.
Destroy stuff?
Okay, are you trying to talk to her first?
Outside beforehand.
No, but before...
outside, I'm killing somebody.
Are you trying to speak to her before she walks away?
Well, the second that Evelyn is all, hey, go destroy some stuff, I'm going to speak up at that point.
You really missed that? Okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for an opening. Okay. Before we go destroying buildings and everything, which I understand is going to be possibly quite necessary, I want to take a walk around and I want to get my own assessment of the structural integrity of this place and the weak points. If I can understand that, I can know where it's most valuable to put our resources. And you don't get drained of everything, pointing at Morgan.
So to clarify, I specifically asked her to further destroy and block in up here where the buildings have already been destroyed and collapsed.
Yeah, those buildings up there by that gate are already ruined. They're barely standing. So there's nothing of loss by taking them down. If you want to look at the other buildings around the town, is that what you're getting at?
Lucius seems a little indignant at the idea of just a casual, hey, just go blow some more buildings up or something. That's kind of
well, it's not just go blow shit up because it's fun. It's to barricade that gate off so it's not a problem.
I get that, but the way it came across to my character is different than what you're trying to explain to me out of character here.
It mostly came across that way to Morrigan. Like, oh, I get to blow shit up and say it's good. She's happy with that.
And if your character was listening, which I would assume your character was, my specific wording was that if those buildings are already destroyed, then we can use the rubble from those buildings to block that entrance to the town.
Okay, since my character was thinking incorrectly, then let me clarify. Morgan, how are you going to do that? Because I don't see you as a type that's going to actually literally pick up stuff and put it in front of the gate.
She looks at you and she just kind of smiles. I was going to pray to the gods to take it down for me. And then she opens her right hand and a little puff of like purple fire comes out. What do you think I'm going to do?
So you blow up a building, further damage a building that's not directly in front of the gate in hopes that the rubble lands there?
Are you questioning my abilities, Mr. Gallus?
No, but...
Come with me and I will show you how it works.
Fine.
See,
I'm not sure I like this, but fine.
We have already performed a ritual together, and you are confused as to how this is going to function. Did you believe that all the sights that you saw were chemically induced?
No, I understand there is magic, but I'm not so full of myself to think that I understand it.
That is very sensible of you. Come with me.
I'll cautiously go with her.
If you want to.
All right, so the two of you are going to blow down some buildings and turn it into barricades. Excellent. Morgan's going to have so much fun.
One thing I would like to do before... I do want to do one specific thing, though. When we get there, we don't have to do it right now, but I'll want an engineering check to see if maybe I can help advise or guide to where my knowledge would say, okay, you want it there, or you want to kind of do this.
You're going to micromanage the wizard.
No, just advice.
Please micromanage Morrigan. She'll love it. It's gonna be great.
I'm about to say,
There may be a bit of rubble landing on your head.
killing the fun. Just put the fun in camps, why don't you?
Please micromanage Morrigan. She'll love it. All right, one thing at a time. Since we'll go in the order that we started giving out roles. So that would be Drastov and Theo. You guys are visiting the remains of the blacksmith shop.
Yes.
It has taken some minor damage because it's not far from the main entry points of the enemy. You can see that there's some burns on it, lots of tears at the walls. The wall facing the gate looks like someone was trying to beat it down with heavy objects, but the building itself is relatively sturdy. All of the ready-made weapons and armor are all stripped off the shelves, most likely appropriated for use by the militia. As far as raw materials are concerned, however, you'll find plenty of iron ore, a few iron ingots, and 1 ingot of steel. Plenty of coal to light the fire up if anyone has the skill to use it. What else are we looking for?
Spikes, anything that has edges, basically anything I can turn into spike traps, or I guess grease maybe as well, that can also be turned into a type of snare.
You wouldn't find very much grease here. There would be little more than just lubrication for the tools. But as far as spiked objects and things like that, you will find a couple like railroad spikes, things that are used for tying down foundations of buildings. You'll find a bucket of those, so probably 20 of them. And you have...
How many?
What's that?
How many do you think would be needed to make a biting snare out of it?
To catch a human-sized person?
Yeah.
I'd say 4 would probably do the trick.
I mean, hey, that's 5 extra snares we have that we can put
Yeah.
down.
If you want to make just simple, sharp objects, you have iron ore and you have the ability to use the furnace. So as long as anyone has some skill with using it, it'd be easy enough to make some just very simple, sharp edges. They wouldn't hold very long because they'd be poorly made, but they'd be enough to stab into somebody and then shatter.
All what you need.
And
I'm
that's
an
good
expert at
enough.
Crafting, so I will spend all of my time here making just spike snares.
Just gonna be a dwarf and do dwarf thing.
Well,
I mean, hey, you can hate.
Just dwarf thing.
While he's doing that, is there any doors that are not opened right now?
Inside the blacksmith store?
Yeah, imagine. I mean, my logic here being is just like if you go to any gun store, there'll be like a safe room. There'll be something where people may maybe not have gotten to. Me having nimbly fingers and being good at thievery, I would like to see if I can get into said door.
Okay, let's get a perception check.
Can I help him with that?
Yes.
Unless, of course, Theo doesn't want help, in which case...
Oh, no, Theo would want help.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
There is only one entrance to the building. There was one almost being made by someone trying to bash down the walls. But as you scour the building looking for the resources and getting a nice list together of what you can scavenge out of this place, we do find a concealed door going into the floor. It is very well hidden. It's of exceptional make, and it looks like it's been a long time since it's used. The cracks and the seams that would hide it look like they've barely been used, but we found it.
This is what we're after, Drastov. We're going to need to note that wall. That's probably going to be an issue later on. I don't know if we want to put traps there or do something with that, because they'll most likely attempt that again. That seems like maybe something that they've been working at for a while. So yeah, I am going to break out my thievery. I'm just going to say
down there.
I think is it locked or is it open? Sorry, I'll try to open it. Is it locked? I assume.
It is locked. Yes, you can see a spot for a key.
Perfect.
You want me to bust it, or you want to, be more finesseful about that?
I mean, may as well try. I like to test myself. Unless you can help me out with being all finesse. No offense, I don't think that's your style. So I
dressed up.
So let me show you my thievery tools. You see, this is Big Bertha. This is my crowbar.
Well, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pretending I'm looking at and listening to Drastov. I'm actually going to try and pick this lock.
Now go and do
All
your
right,
thing.
that is a thievery check. You're at it for a little bit. You cannot quite find the combination for it. You feel that this is an unusual lock, possibly of non-Ferelden origin.
Mhm.
You're remembering how to do this, and you're thinking that this might be an Orlesian design. Very expensive, very elaborate.
Ah.
You spend several minutes at it, and just as you're starting to get frustrated at it, pop! Like, oh shit. You made exactly the DC to get it.
Yes! No Legion's better than me.
Nice.
Sorry,
Nice. You made exactly the 19 it takes
Just
to pop that
brush
lock.
myself off there.
He gets up, he pops his collar like, I meant to do that. It was just me getting warmed up first.
I'm going to pretend. No, I'm just going to like pretending like because I was like, oh, Drasov, that's so cool, man. I like Big Buffer. She sounds so awesome. That's supposed to get a little bit longer than normal. I'm paying back my bro for obviously helping my ego. Do you know what I mean? Because this other guy looked a little bit better than me, so I'm just paying him back as you would do.
The problem is dick sucking doesn't work. He doesn't care. Yeah. Let's just find what's down there. And see
There's too much armor in the way. It takes so long to get to it. It's soft by then.
Drastov, before we do, I take it. This might be a silly question, but I take it you know what to look for in case I don't think someone would keep this place untrapped. I don't know. I could be wrong. Can you look out for the telltale signs?
I know how to look for traps. Yes, I make traps. I know how to see them. I'll yell for you for disarmament unless you want me to throw rocks at it, which, by the way, that works a lot of times.
This sounds like a lot of wind up for some Nat 1 hype.
I mean, a Tevinter and a dwarf. This is the best. This is like a buddy cop movie. Or
hey, this is a buddy cop show right
here. We're gonna have our own sideshow and a Saturday D&D session. So yeah, I will. Is it so when we open up? Sorry, is it dark or is it a torch? Like what is it? Sorry, V.
It is not a big enough room to warrant its own lighting. Generally, by just opening the door enough and letting the sunlight in should allow you to see in there.
Perfect. What do we see?
Perception.
I am declaring hunting because this is going to be sketchy. Also, is there anything I can see just on virtue of having dark vision, or is that not needed?
We'll start with perception checks.
I'm rolling quite a lot of like the same rolls today.
Oh, enjoy it while you got it.
I know.
Because you don't want them to fail at the wrong time. The two of you are looking around and you see some more iron ore that's been stashed away.
Cool.
And Drastov and Theo both lock their eyes on the same object. That looks like a solid ingot of silver sitting over there on the counter.
Yike!
But as you look at it, you also see that there's another little tiny shiny thing just over it. And as we focus our eyes on it, there is a drawn crossbow aiming directly at the ladder, right where your chest would be if you go down that step.
We can use that crossbow. Lucius was asking for one.
Yeah, we can find him one.
Why don't for a laugh we tell him it's down there and he goes down, sets the trap? Nah, I'm only joking. We'll not do that.
That'd be so rude.
It would be hilarious, but we kind of need the old man alive.
And then he's standing there and be like, "Hey, it wasn't there."
Have you seen that old guy move? He's got some nice reflexes.
That would be so rude.
So yeah, Drastov, this is your expertise. I will allow you to disarm this trap.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chuck a rock at the trap.
Okay. Let's just get a raw dexterity check. It's not going to be very hard.
Improvised weapon, ranged strike, rock. Do I actually want to make a macro for this? Nah. Just add my level to this. There you go. Add level plus, I guess, 2. So
Drestov just grabs a piece of discarded lumber that's laying around and just lazily throws it at the crossbow. It sets it off, stick, it fires, and then a nice, well-made crossbow bolt slams into the ladder.
Perfect. Go down, and I will pick up the silver ignot or whatever.
It is reasonably heavy. The weight of the solid silver feels great in your hand. Like, oh man, look at this.
How much
That's going to be worth some money.
How much do I think it would be worth as somebody who actually has runesmithing and regular crafting at expert? What
Give
would
me
be
a
the
craft
evaluation
check.
for it? Okay, I am Uncle Dwarf. What does my loot sense tell me?
This is obviously going to be based upon region. Areas that have more access to valuable metals will have less value on it. So silver and gold are worth more out here in the human lands than back in the mountains where they're more plentiful.
Mhm.
But you pick it up, you weigh it, you feel the weight in it, you inspect it, you see the purity of it. It's not pure silver, because silver is difficult to work with, so it does have some zircon in it to help stabilize it. But you can guess this is probably worth a good 200 gold at least.
Well, Theo, this is about 200 gold we just found, which is hilarious. Now, Alistair said not to steal, but you know what they say. The dead
Oh,
don't give a fuck.
I've already taken it. Like this is like me and you can just go halfers on this. Like, I listen. I'm the one that's
Yeah.
able. I'll bullshit my way out of it. Let me
I'm
do
going to just extend my hand to Theo. I see that we will understand each other in the
See, this is why Tevinter and the dwarves work so much. Oh man, it's
Well-
a match made in heaven.
We'll let the bro fist settle down, and we'll move on to the next group. Evelyn and Alistair.
Leon, he's just jealous because it's not him anymore. Don't let him get in the way, Leon.
We'll let
It's
Theo
okay.
and Drestov can keep playing belly sticks with each other, and we'll go to Evelyn and Alistair.
We're just procuring funding, my friend.
We're just sort of.
Yep.
All right, Evelyn, you're with Alistair, who is going around sending the word out to the many guards, trying to rally as many people as possible. Over the next half an hour or so, what's left of the town is slowly pouring into the town square. There is barely more than 100 people here. Lots of very old or very young men, women, children. Most of those were coming out of the chapel. What's left of the militia-aged men and women are standing there looking nervous, but they have what they can appropriate as weapons. Most of them are carrying simple spears. And Alistair eventually comes back. All right, my fine young lady, this is everyone we got.
I expected I was just going to be asked to gather them, not do any speeches or anything.
Oh no, we're gonna give them a rousing speech with your help. But they're tired of me, trust me, so they're gonna be looking forward to hearing someone else talk. Hey everyone, you know who I am. I know you're tired of my voice, you're tired of my face. And I know you're tired of my sadly empty promises that things are gonna get better and that tonight will be the last time this happens. We all know that I'm just saying things to say things now, but morale has to stay up one way or another, even if it means lying to myself and lying to you guys. And the crowd's face is not looking happy at this, but there's a reason that I'm bringing you out here now. Tonight's attack may be worse than any other, but we have a team of heroes that arrived from us that has survived the collapse of Ostagar. And with their assistants who have bravely volunteered to help put their lives on the line to save everyone else. I think we can do this. I just need you guys to pick up your hearts again. Take up the weapons you've got. We're going through the town for everything we can find right now to get ourselves the best chance we can have. I just need you guys to stay strong one more time for me, all right? With that, I'll present to you Miss Evelyn, who is going to be representing and fighting for us tonight. The townsfolk look mildly hopeful as they all look at you with desperate pleas in their eyes.
Looking at these people, I actually take a second and I then, after my moment of breathing, I look up at them and and then I look at Alistair really quick and I say, God, talk us up anymore, and talk us up anymore, and the next thing you're going to say is the kingdom's not dead. I mumbled that under my breath.
Don't say it.
And then I look towards the people and I say, he's right. Me and my friends, we're here to help. The fall at Ostagar was a misstep, but we're gonna make that right. And this is just the first step to achieving that goal. We're more than capable of dealing with some petty little undead. Even if they're led by something worse, we'll handle it. And as for each and every one of you, I'm actually going to pull out Theo's mask, and I'm going to, or not Theo, Ash's mask, and I'm going to hold it to my chest. And I'm going to say, I let a friend die back in Ostagar because I didn't know what to do, and I was scared and not sure. I'm not going to let that happen again to anybody, especially any of you that can't defend yourself. But me and my friends, we do need your help. Those that are willing and able to lend a hand. Eyes, voices, anything that can be given to give us warnings tonight will help us keep all of you safe. Truth be told, I'm not a very good speaker. But I promise we'll do what we can. And we'll see you through tonight, and after tonight the undead will be gone. Because we're gonna take back that castle. And for Alistair's part, if he is close, he can visibly see that Evelyn is like shaking because she is so nervous. But after that,
smiling at you.
After that, Evelyn would quiet down because she's other things to say.
You did good, Ross. Good job. All right, everyone. Return to your homes. For those of you that need to take shelter inside the chapel, you know the curfew. Be where you're supposed to be. We haven't gotten out a listing of who we need where, so don't lock your doors. We will kick them down if you're on the list. Be ready to move. Everyone who is armed, everyone who's part of the militia, be ready to come out. Those of you who are not part of the militia but are not assigned to the refuge, you may be getting pulled. So be ready. We're going to win this fight tonight, but to believe that everyone is going to walk away is impossible. So make sure that anything you got to get taken care of is done. And I wish you all luck. And with that, the crowd doesn't look too motivated, but they look in a better spirit than they were as they disperse.
God.
Not a fan of public speaking.
Up until about 2 weeks ago, I had spent my life up to this point inside of a tower full with other mages.
Ah, you're a circle girl.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a Templar. So, hey, awkward.
My best friend in the circle was a Templar.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I don't hate pretty much all of you, though.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I want you to know that we don't hate you. Just like any guard you'll ever find, Templar is no different. There are people that sign up to be bullies. There are people that sign up because they get hard at the idea of beating up someone that can't do anything about it. But I, and many that I know, sign up because we want to help people like you be the best they can be. And you right now are an example of that. You got voluntold to come here. You were already at one disastrous battle that any reasonable person would have said, fuck this, and would have went home. You have the ability to go get locked up in a tower full of mages, probably the safest place on earth right now. But you're out here trying to help other people. And I want you to know I appreciate that, and so does everyone else. So keep your head up.
I just nod at him.
Oh, do I hear blushing?
Actually, you don't.
Oh, Alistair's charms are not working.
I'm flattered, but I'm actually not feeling any weird like embarrassment from it.
Okay. I'm going to need you guys to figure out how much of the militia we need to deploy and if we need to start throwing letters to the civilians. So when you guys have a moment, the sooner you can tell me what we need, the faster I can get everyone assembled and the less confusion there'll be. I'll leave that to you. I've got a lot of stuff that I got to do.
I give him a nod, and I'll say I'll make sure that the others know, and we can sort this out.
All right, we are changing subjects. We are going to Nicola. Nicola decided to check out the botanist shop.
Thank fuck.
No more public speaking for Avalon.
It's all about understanding your people. Who's going to be the best at public speaking?
And a lot of it is, if you're not confident, you learn how to fake it. And that's
Fake it
usually
till you make it.
fake confidence is just as effective as real confidence when you're talking to other people.
I mean, can you imagine Theo or Drastov up there with telling me quit being little bitches? But you understand that the person that actually cares about wanting to help people. See?
Oh yeah.
Listen, man, it's hard being this good at Theo. I'm just saying.
And pick up a weapon.
You know, some of the best motivating speeches ever are when the lawful evil character gives a motivating speech.
Yeah, well,
I know a lot of people have died, but a lot more are gonna fucking die if you don't stop wetting yourself and get the fuck out there and start kicking some goddamn ass. And you know what? That fires people up.
I'm gonna have to assign myself to be that commissar role.
We need a commissar.
Any back steps and I'll kill you.
I think Grasshopper is the commissar and you are, the inquisitorial leader. It's a bit more subdued.
I mean, I would say I'm inquisitorial.
Chat is very active today. I like it. Excellent, excellent. All right, Nicola, you are checking out the botanist shop. It is clearly not a healer's tent. You don't have any ready-made potions or chemicals for you to go through. This was a place that was more like for a hobbyist that want to buy plants to take care of in their garden.
Okay. Is there anyone in the shop? Is it like the blacksmith where the person died?
There is a person in the shop, but she doesn't look like she owns it.
Right.
But there is one person in leather armor that has kind of a red tint to it. She has very bright red hair and looks to be going through the plants just like you.
So can I do like a nature check to see if there's anything here worth like grabbing so that I can make some natural medicine?
Give me 3 nature checks as you go through the building.
Okay.
Do you interact with the other person there?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, hello, I'm Nicola. I'm here kind of looking for anything worth to heal for tonight. What's your name kind of thing? Like, what do you do in the village? Can I ask her?
Nick, you're getting a little loud and bassy again.
Your mic is doing the play school, my first mic thing.
Jesus.
Sounds like an echo.
Bear with me.
All right, first we'll resolve your nature checks. Your 2 16s, you don't find anything particularly valuable here. This mostly looks like stuff that could be grown for food or seeds. You do find some things that wouldn't really heal injuries, but could be used to ease pain and at least put someone back into action. You're 28. You do, however, find a couple bundles of dried out and preserved elf root. And elf root, when it's pulled from the ground, is not as effective because it still has a lot of water in it. If it is carefully dried and desiccated to the point that you can just pick it up and it crumbles, is its most effective. And you find a bundle of it preserved.
Awesome.
You are now very quiet.
Is it? Oh, Jesus.
Nick's always having mic problems.
Is that any better?
It is certainly better.
Hey, I'll do that. That should be fine
Nicky,
there.
mate, I'm going to start a GoFundMe or like a charity just to get you a better mic, mate.
I've got the exact same mic as you. I just can't get the settings right for it.
Hello, my name is Nicola. I require a custom microphone so I can.
Yeah, for
partake in the
every
online D&D.
donation we get, Nick will send you a video saying thank you, senpai.
Hey, can we Photoshop Nicola's face over Bernie Sanders? Like, I am once again asking for your financial support.
Yeah, so cool. So I'll ask her this once I found that stuff. I'll ask her those questions and kind of see what the script is, because obviously he said that we're kind of good to take stuff that we need, and that's going to help people later on. So
RP in game.
what's that? Sorry.
RP in game. Don't tell me what you want to do.
Right. Okay.
Talk to the person.
Hello. I'm Nicola. I'm here with the party to help in tonight's fight. What's your name? Are you part of this? What's the kind of script? I'm not too sure what's going on.
So surprised by your sudden, hey, I'm the hero here to save everyone. What are you shopping for? She doesn't really know how to respond to you. She just looks at you mildly confused. Hi? No one's shopping for anything anymore. They're just kind of taking stuff. Just like you are.
I mean, I hadn't taken anything yet, but I was going to. But thanks anyway for clearing that up, that we can do that.
Fuck, who cares? Everyone's going to be dying anyway.
Not on my watch, Hen. Not on my watch.
Oh, you're a big bad hero girl, huh?
I like to blow people up, yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of that. I am taking what I can and I'm leaving. I don't know how all these idiot villagers haven't just gotten on the road and left, but I'm on my way out of here.
So you're not staying for the fight?
Why would I stay and fight for this fucking town? Are you out of your mind? Why are you? You don't live here.
You're right, I don't live here, but I need to get home at some point, and the only way to get home is coming through this.
The only way to get
Party.
home is to probably go out the gate and start heading to your home. Unless you
No,
live in
but-
the castle, which you don't look like you do.
I mean, if you look at me, you notice I might not be from around here. If I'm caught on myself trotting about, I'm getting put in prison again. I might get put in prison. Yeah, we'll just say that.
You're staying and fighting for a town that you think will put you in jail. You think they're not going to do that when they're done?
Hey! Once we've wiped out the forces and they're going to try and take out the town, me and the party are gone. We're going to be heading off somewhere else to get me home eventually.
Oh, so your caretakers are going to help you get home. What are you, 5?
Hey, like I said, not from around this town, not from around this area. People are very hostile towards me normally, so the only way out of that hostility is through this hostility. So yeah.
Look, I don't think you and I are reading each other right. I don't have any problem with you. But I am telling you, the smartest thing to do right now is to get out of here. And that's what I'm going to do. But if you want to stay here and fight for a lost cause for people that just hate you anyway, by all means, you be a good person.
You do you, Hen. You do you. But I would much appreciate if you would stay and fight for us. With your leather armor, you could do something.
Oh, I'm pretty good at it. I've stayed alive this long. But not by being out in the square getting attacked by skeletons.
So just from
Dude.
hiding and running away then? So that's
She,
what it seems like you've been doing.
She turns a little bit so you can look at her back, and she has a very beautiful, elaborate longbow over her back.
So that's a nice longbow you've got. That's could definitely come in handy.
Oh, it has.
So why not continue keeping it in handy? Because trust me, we're not losing tonight.
Oh, maybe not. But how about the next night? And the night after that? This has not been the first time. This has gone on for days.
You may be right, but it's.
I might be right.
You may be right, but once we've fended off tonight, we're going to launch a counter attack, and we're going to find the root of this evil, and we're going
fuck.
to stomp on it.
Oh, our token didn't come out right. It's got that annoying white border on it.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
Like, I don't know why you are so fervent to defending this town, but I'm really not. But maybe I could be persuaded. As she puts her right hand up and she does the bribe me motion, which you don't really understand because you're a Dalish.
I mean, I don't know what you're saying to me here. Like, you can be persuaded. What if I just say, "Come on, then, let's go"? That work?
You really are dense. But I am referring to the fact that I'm a mercenary.
That's...
Now, I don't
That's
really
good to
like to
know.
fight for doomed and lost causes, so I'm going to have to charge you extra, but I'll do it.
I mean, you should come along, come speak to this party, and we'll sort something out. Because I reckon you could be handy.
I guess. You're going to have to pay me well for this bullshit, though.
I mean, we'll see if you survive.
Oh, I'm going to survive.
If you're as good as you say, yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to survive. Don't you worry about that.
Right, well, let's go. We'll go and speak to the rest of them, and we'll go head to the main square and try and find everyone else.
Okay. Hi.
And your name was?
Your name was?
My name is Nicola.
Hello, Nicola. I am Ilya.
Ilya. Pleasure to meet you, I guess.
No, it's not!
Sorry.
Ah, yes, I see Eric's up to his old shit again.
Recurring character has to be in every one of my games. She's just too much fun. Although who she is and her personality are different each time. She's not a recycled character. I just like the concept of her.
So yeah, we'll just head to the... I'll take the elf route and we'll head to the main square at that point to try and kind of say to everybody, look, she's here. We should
Okay.
probably pay her.
After you have met the red armored mercenary, you're going back to trying to find anything useful in the botanist shop, or you think you're done here?
I'll give it one more try. Kind of see if there's anything, even behind the counter or anything like that, because obviously nobody's about. So I'll give it a try and see if there's anything more.
Give me one more nature check, but you're going to take a -2.
Okay.
Ooh. You find locked up under the counter, there is a drawer that should be locked, but it never was. Inside that drawer are some ready-made potions. You find a potion of anti-venom, a potion of anti-plague, and 2 minor healing potions.
Awesome.
Free supplies. Free supplies are good.
Yeah, buddy.
And finally, our last pair, Morrigan and Lucius, who are up at the northwest section of town. Morrigan walks on over, just kind of looks at the crumbled state of the buildings. And she starts preparing stuff. She takes things out of vials in her belts. She starts taking pieces of paper out and she starts reading them. She pulls out a book in her pocket. She doesn't explain anything to Lucius in any way, but doesn't even seem to remember that he's there. So Lucius, if you want to do anything, it's all going to be on you.
I'll observe her for a minute, but I want to take a look at the area over there and see if I can get an idea just from an engineering perspective. Like if there's one place that would be better than another to what I can only assume is she's going to blast or hurl something at the building to make it go boom.
What are you going to look at? Are you looking at the homes? Are you looking at the gates?
Well, I'll start with the gate just to get an idea of, I guess, just like the dimensions to figure out, okay, this is how much space we'll have to cover, or perhaps is the wall right next to the gate just fucked already, so we need to cover more. So I guess
Engineering.
just the coverage we need first, yeah.
Let's use your engineering skill. The gate itself was not meant to carry heavy traffic through. This almost looks like a tourism gate for a nice leisurely walk outside. What's left of the pavement you can see has been devastated and destroyed by far too much traffic going over it in too little time. The gate itself was not reinforced with heavy concrete and wood postings like the rest of the walls. It was built out of bricks that were not laid properly with mason. They were just kind of set together and have been battered about by, it looks like, a lot of people brushing through it, moving at high speed. This gate does not look stable to be put up against much effort.
Okay. And the vicinity that's immediately around the gate's pretty much included in that analysis?
Give me another engineering for the two houses.
All right.
The two homes have been battered up pretty bad. It looks like they've been ransacked repeatedly. There have been many holes blown in them, and you can see some burn marks, though you don't quite read why that is. It looks like heavy objects smashed into them from the roofs. There were small fires set that looks like either they didn't catch, or they burned themselves out, or didn't have enough oxygen. But as far as stability, they don't look like they're going to hold on for very long. They will hold where they are, but much more stress will take them down.
Okay. What about, like, I know I looked at the gate, but let me ping. I mean, like, the areas here and here, just off to the sides when I was looking at the gate?
The walls themselves are solid and heavy. The visual up there looks different, but it is the same. The walls are heavy, tall, 15, 16-foot wooden poles that have spikes on the top to prevent anyone from climbing over it.
Okay.
As you look around it, you kind of kick at them a little bit. You inspect the ground. They're all laden in nice and heavy with concrete. You estimate from what you know the concrete probably runs 4 or 5 deep into the ground so that no one can tunnel under it.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like a good chunk of info. I'll head back over to Morgan and see what she's doing.
Looks like she has finished referencing her notes. She's put the papers and her book away, and she's standing there almost dancing. And there's no wind in the air, but you can see her robes and her hair are blowing in wind that aren't there. And rather than just moving her fingertips or saying things like most spellcasters you've seen, she looks like she is dancing to herself.
On the off chance that she's in the middle of something, I don't want to fuck with her chi. Can I get a quick occultism check? And again, I'm just trying to perceive if she's in like the middle of some kind of ritual or something.
Go for it. This is not a spell weaved with magic. You are not a mage. You haven't worked with a lot of magi, but you have learned a lot of things over the course of your life. Magi generally perform castings by speaking words, moving their hands and their fingertips to write runes in the air. What she is doing is not casting a spell. Although it makes no sense to you because you are a man of science, it seems like she is either asking for or manipulating spirits to do things.
Huh. Okay, this is going to get weird real quick. With that knowledge, I'm now thinking she's not going to try and just blow something the hell up. So this might
She's
be
a
more
traitor.
control.
Kill her.
I'm not
She's
going
a
that far
traitor.
yet. She manipulates spirits somehow, and I can tell that from the help that she gave me with that vision. Not fully trusting what's about to happen, but it feels like maybe there's a bit more ounce of control than just boom. I will just step back a little bit, say here, and continue to observe for a moment.
You do not communicate or interrupt her?
No, because I feel like she's in the middle of some sort of ritual, and I don't want to mess with that. If someone interrupted me in the middle of a critical part of an experiment, I would be pissy. And she seems more pissy than most people. So, logic.
As she completes her dance, and there's a lot of twirling and moving about with it, her eyes are open, but they look faded, as if she's not. When someone loses eyesight, their eyes become glassy and clear. Her eyes look like that now, as if she's not actually in her own body. But about 2 minutes pass as she's doing her thing, and the buildings start to implode in on themselves. It would look like, as much as it makes no sense to you, a single point of gravity appears in the middle of each house, and everything gets pulled into it. And as they start to warp in on themselves, a heavy wind comes out of nowhere, almost hurricane force, nearly knocks you down and blows most of the wreckage into the gate. The gate gets almost completely destroyed. What the rocks were in there get blown out towards the outside of the city. Replacing the gate is now the wreckage of the better part of 2 homes, as what's left of the debris is laying up against the walls. Morrigan stops moving and slowly just sits on the ground, and her body looks like she goes limp and apparently falls asleep.
I take a moment just to be slack-jawed and just, damn. Habit, I'll rush over there and just give her a quick check, make sure this is just some sort of catnap or something.
The doctor in you, the field surgeon, runs up. Oh my God, what happened? You very carefully steady her neck in case of a neck injury. You've done all this. It's muscle reflex to you. But you can see that she is breathing normally. You can feel her heart is beating. She is unconscious for some reason, though you couldn't explain why. But she seems perfectly healthy.
Maybe she was taxed somehow by what she did, because that was very impressive.
You are cradling her head and slowly letting her lay down. Her eyes open up and she looks at you.
Wow. That's not what I was expecting.
She
that was quite impressive.
Notices where she is. She looks to her right and sees your body, and she can tell that her head is laying in your lap as you're over her. Well, I don't remember this.
What? No, sorry, field surgeon, doctor, but just medically, I was concerned when you collapsed.
She laughs and she puts a finger up and she boops you on the nose as she starts to get up.
Okay, that means you're not mad. Okay, all right. So we're good.
Now then, are you satisfied with my work? She looks at what she did.
Oh, but that was... yes. That's fantastic. Again, that's not what I was expecting. Okay. Was that a ritual? You dancing like that?
Oh. See, we were having fun and you want to go back to that. Yes, it was a ritual.
Okay,
Much
so
of my
I was
incantations are. Okay. I am not a traditional mage, as you know them.
Okay. See, I was doing my inspection over there, and then when I was done, I was going to come over and talk to you about what I had kind of figured out, and you were in the middle of your dance. I figured it was best not to disturb you looks like my hunch was correct.
That was wise. Please do not.
Nope. Just want to make sure I can understand when I can interject or when it's best just to keep my trap shut. Well, great work. That's wow.
You will know if I require assistance or if I should be alone. So far, you have done an exceptional job telling the difference on your own.
Thank you.
Now then, I told you the gods were gonna do it, didn't I?
Yes, you did use that phrase, though. I'm thinking that was sarcasm.
It was. Let's find the others.
I think I'm gonna have to put you on the list of people not to piss off. But yes, let's go.
Wise choice. I should be the first through the fifth people on that list. Come
While
then.
you make a compelling argument, the dwarf is a little bit higher right now. There's a mountain of metal can squish me very easily.
She has a playful smile on her face. I'm hurt. I'll treat you worse in the future.
That's really not necessary.
Oh, it is now. Come then.
Shit.
Sorry, old man. You made the wrong choice.
So did we find anything else down there, or just like a silver bar?
We're coming back now that we've done the full rotation of everyone's little
That's
group.
fine.
We are returning to dress
Look,
up
we
and
need more
Theo.
money. Give me the money.
You guys have found everything of value in the place, but have spent the next several minutes, possibly up to an hour, as Drestov is banging away on the forge and channeling the just dwarf things, and building just random sharp things. It's been a while since you've had to make any true arms and armor, but today you don't have to do that. Today you're just banging out nails, arrowheads, anything just random and sharp that could fit in a box and be thrown at high velocity at people. That's all you got to do today.
Crafter. I am at home in my element. Jury rig all the shit.
There is a reason nail bombs are so goddamn effective. They are fucking terrifying.
They are hilarious.
Explosives plus sharp objects equals fun times. Wholesome time.
Exactly. I'm happy we are on the same page.
Okay, let's see how many traps you made. Drestov, give me... From the materials you got and the time you've had, give me a 2d4 plus 5.
Ooh.
2d4 plus 5.
So many people in chat want me to burn the village down.
You certainly can do it. It will take care of the problem.
I mean, to that person I say, you have the spirit of a true entrepreneur, but sadly we kind of need these idiots.
I see Dogs is really enjoying the session. He's been super enthusiastic the whole time.
Yeah. It's pre-made Dogs.
Unfortunately, he can't hear the soundtrack. Tragic.
So I can make 10 more biting snares. That is good shit.
Yep, you find enough materials and you bang out 10 more snares as you've been working in the forge. At that point, you've exhausted. At that point, you've exhausted the resources that are available.
That means I now have 17 bear trap snares. Yes.
They will definitely serve their weight.
Snares are wonderful.
Well, Theo, you have watched your dwarf friend professionally make multiple bear traps out of raw materials. What do you think of your new ally?
It's a sturdy dwarf, just like the dwarfs you grew up with and interacted with. It can be trusted.
The Tavengers love the dwarves.
I mean, hey, we've come to an agreement.
So yeah, I would just be in this time. I'd be looking probably not, and I get that, but I'd be looking for anything else, any kind of strong boxes, any maybe hidden armor, anything that he might have hidden away down there or upstairs. I'm just completely ransacking the house while he is doing all this. I want to see that.
You've looted the place out, but everything that was of note or value, you've already obtained. Hey, you guys found a bar of solid silver. You guys got plenty of treasure.
Yeah.
and resources.
Is never enough.
Well, there is a point where it's enough.
I've just marked that in my character sheet, Leon, just so you're aware.
Are you going to share this new find with the rest of the group?
No, I mean the dwarf already made an agreement with us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, that's why it's given. That's why it's given to me. I can bullshit my way out of it.
Exactly.
The dwarf
You always need someone who can lie.
The dwarf will just tell me to fuck off, and I'll be like, oh, that's us caught now, isn't it? But yeah, I take it we will just head back to the town square.
As you guys are heading outside, just about that time, you will see Morrigan is walking towards the road, with Lucius looking confused and bewildered behind her.
Were you able to seal off that pathway?
Morrigan just turns her eyes towards Lucius. That was your cue.
Have you made him a mute?
Apparently I muted myself. Yeah, no worries about that gate. It's sealed. It would take about 10 of him pointing at our friendly dwarf, like in one, to battering ram through that, maybe.
I would love to know what happens if we load Drastov into a trebuchet.
I'm all for it.
I think you might want to, in your spare time, go in that blacksmith and check in there, because something has been seriously banging at that wall, trying to get in from the outside. So if they're not going to go there, they're going to go there, and that does look severely damaged. So whoever has sealed up there, if you could maybe seal up that, because yeah, that looks severely damaged in there.
Wait, what? Where?
In the blacksmith, there's the wall seems to be kind of not caved in fully, but from the palisade wall outside, it seems to have kind of been, it's now bended in towards the actual house itself. So yeah,
which building's the blacksmith on the map?
One just above us.
This one right here, this brown building.
I thought it was this one here.
No, you guys have been in this building.
All right, ignore me then. My apologies. Ignore me. Sorry.
I don't know how you got it confused. I pointed this one a while ago. I'm pretty sure, and like now I'm confused. I'm
pretty sure me and Drastov went up here. This is where we were the whole time.
No, your guys' tokens were like right here the whole time.
Yeah, you guys. It was the smaller brown building.
Ha!
That one.
Cool. When we go back and watch the VOD, and then we'll see what one V pointed out. I'll come back to this.
Cool, and I'm right.
I'm pretty sure it was the small one, to be fair.
Are we taking bets this time? Because this
Please,
time
I want to take bets. I want to take bets.
I'm not really intending to bet right now because this isn't fun.
Yeah, I just
give me a fun bet. Actually,
me and the dwarf just got a silver bar. We don't need to bet.
If you were right and I pointed out the wrong building, then Lucius and Morrigan will bang.
I mean, no, because that's not. Because that's not beneficial towards me.
No.
That's not a bet I want.
I don't want to curse Vile with that shit.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, because that's not a bet. It's going to a bet is meant to benefit me, not some old randy old guy that touches people up when they're unconscious.
How about you give, I don't know, Theo a major striking rapier? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
No, you guys found a buyer of silver. You got all the treasure you need for today.
Right, so there's no bet then. So moving on.
Well then, Lucius, I suppose you shall use your talents to fix that wall over there. And I will watch you this time.
Why are we fixing a wall in the blacksmith building? That's of no tactical advantage.
I retconned that because you just said it wasn't a thing, so I wouldn't have told them that.
No, the damage in the wall is absolutely there. You were just pointing at the wrong building.
Wait, what?
Being able...
How could we see it, right? So if we're in this building, how could we have seen that wall behind there? This is my point. I don't
know what in the fuck you're talking about. I was referring to the wall of the blacksmith's shop that's facing toward the gate that the enemy has been coming through.
Fuck that bullshit. I don't care.
Never mind. Yes, the idea probably is that if you need to find shelter somewhere to get out of sight, the buildings being in good shape would not be a bad idea. But certainly just not use this one. But the wall, this side of the wall of this building, facing the gate that the enemy has been coming through, has been seriously damaged and isn't going to stand up to much more.
Cool. Again, I was under the impression, as I said, that's on me. I thought it was this one. If Lucius finds it relevant, then he can do whatever he wants to that wall. I've just obviously pointed that out.
My only question is, so you are pointing out the damaged building?
Yes. So
Okay.
we're not. So I can't retcon that. So yeah, there's a damaged wall in there, just in case if we are trying to hold a line here, and that's another way to get behind the line. We also don't want that. So yeah, that would be worthwhile. Probably trying to seal up at the moment, because as I said, we're going to use the houses as a natural obstacle in the way of the enemy. We want everything to be at its weakest condition.
Fair enough. I'll inspect to get an idea of damage and materials that would be needed to properly repair, reinforce, because it's not like we have days or anything. We've got a few hours at most.
Let your inner Imperial fist come out, Lucius.
Say again?
This is your time, Vale, for your inner Imperial fist to come out. You are a Black
Fuck the
Templar after
Imperial
all.
fists. Yeah. Imperial fists are a bunch of pussies that don't get in the melee. Power swords are where it's at. Anyway, you want an engineering check for that, V?
Yes. The wall has been pretty battered up by, looks like, blunted objects or people kicking at it. Your best surmise is knowing the enemy has come through the gate that's nearby. They attempted to get into this building as violently as possible rather than trying to go through the door, which may have been locked. And they made attempts to batter the wall down. They didn't finish it, but it wouldn't take much more to break it apart. You could attempt to repair it with another engineering skill and a few hours' work.
Theo, is there anything specific in this building that they would have undead are not going to just randomly beat down a building door, are they?
It's not more. There's nothing inside it that I found that was going to be valuable to the undead. It's just more if we allow another access point to get through. It's more ground that we have to cover. Oh, by the way, here, and I give him the crossbow.
Huh? Oh, what type of crossbow is it?
It is a light crossbow.
Hey, proficient with that. Cool.
Hey, free stuff is free stuff.
Yeah.
We'll also give you the ammunition that was found with it, so you'll get a bolt quiver with 6 bolts.
6 bolts. Better than 0.
Much better than 0.
Now
Crossbow with no ammo.
Now that I've given you a crossbow, can I get one of your bombs?
No. Because you'll blow yourself up with it.
No, I won't. You gave it to some guy in here and he fucking blew himself like that. I let you wait and got you.
What an asshole! What an asshole!
Sir Vondrak, would you let me use your rapier? Just borrow it.
I mean, if you wanted to use my rapier, yeah. I'd be more intrigued to see if you could actually use my rapier.
The point being, you are not trained in the use of alchemical bombs. Therefore, given my past experiences with lords purchasing my work and then blowing themselves up and killing themselves with it and the associated fallout of it, hence why I wasn't allowed to live in Redcliffe anymore, I am very apprehensive about just handing over bombs like that.
Are you responsible for the inadequacies of other people? Do you not trust Theodore's competence? I believe he's proven himself many times.
He has.
Then why do you deny him? He just gave you a gift.
The answer is no.
Very well. It's not my decision to make.
They will go away.
I do not understand you, Lucius.
What are you confused about?
He does seem to be the most martially adept of us all. I
Yes.
believe an explosive at the right time and the right place into the enemy's rear lines would be devastating. He has proven
Okay.
himself capable of handling many different arms, being tactically intelligent. I do not see any downside to him using this weapon.
Okay. Then think of it this way. How about we give him some of your talents, taking away what you will be able to bring to bear during a battle, and let him using it as well. Tactically, he's of sound mind. If he understood your spells, he could use them instead of you. No.
Is there a reason you
the-
are getting angry trying to present your side of the argument?
I'm not angry at all. I'm merely just perplexed as to why you don't understand this clearly logical explanation.
My talents require many, many years of training, as well as a natural gift to do so. You acquired this skill through training and time. Could you not give him a 10-minute lesson on how to use it properly? As far as I've seen, it's a bottle that you grab and you throw at people. That doesn't sound complicated to me. But perhaps I just don't know any different.
Morgan, to the untrained eye, your magic there could have seemed like, well, you just did a little dance and moved some buildings. Now that would be foolish, that would be ignorant and probably insulting, yes? So perhaps with that in mind, you could apply that logic to, oh, he's just taking out a bottle and throwing it. Perhaps it's more than that.
I believe that it is. That is why I suggested. Is 10 or 15 minutes of instruction not enough?
No, it's not.
Well, then, perhaps you should have tried the argument with that, instead of flatly telling him, no, you're not responsible enough. To me, it came out as very condescending.
That's fair.
Dressed is laying a fuck ton of trap.
I
Jesus.
just want to get a meme out where it's like Gandalf saying "You shall not pass," but it just like put Drastov's face over it.
This will be when the Denerim reinforcements come through that gate. Oh my god!
That would be fucking hilarious.
Trying to walk through the jungles of Vietnam right there.
Hopefully, low gains at the front of it all.
That's a lot of traps. Put them all in this spot right here.
Drastov wins again.
Fuck everything in this spot in particular.
I mean, look, we've been told that people don't really come from the south entrance, but they might. But that's why we have people there to, yell for us. But
Hey, I get it.
This,
If that's where they're coming from, that's where they should be.
This is my masterpiece.
It's so beautiful.
You're starting to sound like
It makes me cry.
that artist guy from your game, Leon. That's quite worrying, to be fair.
The painter?
Yeah, the painter. You're starting to sound
I
like
know that guy. Come along, Lucius. I am sure we are needed elsewhere.
So
Well,
just to
they-
check,
Excellent artist.
So I'm not repairing the building?
Oh, you're free to do what you wish. I have no business here, unless you wish for me to stand here and watch you like you watched me.
That would seem highly boring. It's up to you. I don't need you to watch me, but I don't care if you do.
She watches you try to fix the walls while watching Drastov giggle to himself, setting dozens of traps in one tiny area.
This is gonna be hilarious.
Please make sure you inform people you've put them there, Drastov, before some fucking stupid guard member just like, oh, what is this? And fucking kills himself.
Right.
I
I'm
was
just gonna grab a piece of wood and write on it: "Traps ahead of this place. Abandon all hope, ye who exit."
I was going to say, so wait, who's the Imperial Fist again? But then Vile rolled a 25 to fix a fucking wall.
Lucius, you will do a pretty good job repairing the wall. It'll take you about an hour and a half to do.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I guess we have a pair of Imperial Fists in this fucking team.
Morgan just enjoys watching Drastov set dozens of traps in one area while maniacally giggling to himself.
Would you like to set the primer for this one?
Can I?
I mean, you have an expert right next to you. Of course you can.
Please, that sounds amusing.
If you could enchant them, go right ahead.
Oh, that would have had to
I get
been
it.
done during their creation, unfortunately. However,
Hey, for the future.
I would very much like that.
The bargain is struck.
Although I can at least set some simple alarm spells to let us know before they spring, if you wish.
That actually works out well. Can you set one to the bottom as well, so we know if there's any unfortunate stragglers coming from the south?
Yes, give me some time and I will let you know when they are done.
Thank
Sure.
you very much.
Grassloff, you okay over there?
What? Oh, I'm having the time of my life. Just look upon my wonderful minefield. Oh, this is reminding me of home.
That's looking like Vietnam over there.
The Vietnam dwarf. And it's only going to go larger and larger every level.
We need to change
Oh, I'm
Drastov's
glad
name
you're
to
on my side.
Charlie.
So, Theo going back to Alistair. Is Nick and Avalon, is Nicola back yet, or?
Not
We
currently,
just come.
but they'll be on their way back.
So, how did it go with the general population?
They've been informed that they're going to get voluntold to pick up weapons. I'm going to need an estimate from you guys just how much we need to pull from the civilians. Whenever you guys have a good idea, the sooner I can get a word out and the less confusion and hopefully less.
I would say every able-bodied and fit man and woman, they can fight.
That's what I was thinking. I'll start putting the word out.
We'll put just to obviously, so they don't think they're going to go in the front lines and die. They will. We'll probably want to use your more skilled warriors at the front, and we'll have them at the back reinforcing wherever they need to be. Mass numbers just choking a point can be useful, but we don't want it to hold a point. So
we'll get a good briefing set up before we start. We don't want to do it too early, or I gotta be honest with you, just about everyone here is shitting themselves. If we tell them too early, I think they're just gonna forget. I think we should hold the briefing off till we're about ready.
that's fine.
But I will let you guys decide. If that's what you think we should do, that's what we should do.
No,
but I don't recommend it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying between us, I think that will be the best course of action for us. We'll want a more disciplined and trained at the front to hold the lines, and then we'll use our reserves to react to any situation we need to. But yeah, we're not going to tell them that now. You're completely correct. There's no point to tell them that now because they'll be too busy.
My house is on the other end of the block. When you guys are all finished doing whatever prep you're going to do, let's meet there. We'll discuss war plans without word getting out, because that's just going to send panic. People are going to die. People are going to have to lose here, and we don't want to spread that out.
Where was that oil, by the way?
Right. Let me know where we need to set it up, and I'll have it deployed. Do we want it in barrels, or do we want to spill it out?
I'd probably say spilling out, distributing it probably about an hour or two before the actual battle itself. Again, we'll get to your house first, and we'll plan all that shit out before we actually get anything set in motion. But yeah,
all right,
we'll get in your house.
I'll start sending the word out, getting everyone voluntold that they're going to fight, and making sure that nobody runs away. I'll get the guards covering all the gates now to make sure nobody tries to escape heroically. I'll meet back here in a couple hours, and we'll go over the brief.
Cool.
I'll see you then. Evelyn here, by the way, gave a rousing speech and motivated everybody. It was fantastic. It was awe-inspiring. Wasn't it, Evelyn?
I actually glared daggers at him at that.
What? You did great. What's your problem? I wasn't being sarcastic. I was being honest.
I know you were being honest.
Well, then what's your problem?
That was the most embarrassing experience I think I may have had.
Oh my god, you're going to worry about talking in front of people when we're facing down swarms of undead. You got your priorities of things to be afraid in the wrong order, my friend.
Undead aren't people.
Fair, but people booing your speech are not going to kill you. Undeads with swords and spears can kill you.
I mean,
you should worry about the things that matter.
Alistair, after this is all over, I'll take you to Tevinter, and yeah, I'll definitely change your opinion.
You're from Tevinter?
Yes, I am.
I have never met a Northlander before. How do you do? And he puts his hand out for the second time. Allow me to welcome you to the barbarian lands of Ferelden.
I see you have a sense of humor. I like that.
Hey, you gotta laugh sometimes, man.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm gonna start getting everyone ready. I'll meet back here with you guys in a couple hours and we'll start briefing up for plans. I'll see you then.
See you then.
As he is running down the road, Nicola and a different person behind her are approaching you guys.
I'll kind of like nod to Evelyn to kind of like look in that direction.
Oh,
Sorry.
I look that way, and after a second, I actually have a double take.
Do you know her?
I'm.
Ah.
How did you even get here?
As she walks up to meet everybody else, because she doesn't recognize anyone else, but she does recognize Avel. I know you.
How did you get here?
She looks down at her legs and her boots, and she just kind of points at her boots.
I point at her and I say, "That's the woman that stole the boat when I was traveling to Ferelden."
And she like makes a big, sweeping, sarcastic gesture, and she looks behind her, both shoulders. Who did that? That's awful.
And then I will say, "You're not funny, Aaliyah."
Oh, I think I'm hilarious. Anyway, hi everyone. Your friend Nicola here said we might be able to conduct some business.
Guys, she says she's good. She's got a nice bow. I said, why don't we come and have a discussion about potentially fighting for us tonight?
She's better with more than that bow.
Well, there you go. See, I am recommended by two of you now.
Okay.
Feels like okay.
Theo's going to give a kind of a look up and down. Can I do a society check to see if I recognise anything on her, where she might be from, anything like that?
Go for it.
Probably the first time Avalon is getting really catty towards another female character.
She is clearly Ravani in origin, though she doesn't look familiar to anyone that you know, other than she's definitely from not here. Her equipment is well maintained and looks exotic and expensive. She's wearing leather armor, but you could swear like most leather is made out of cow or bull. This looks entirely different material. Her equipment is expensive, but we don't know a lot about her.
Okay. So it seems like you know Avalon and you've just met Nicola. I am Theodore Humphrey Farquhar von Drac, and you're saying you want to conduct some business in regards to helping us.
She bows at Theo. I am a sellsword, and I am happy to lend my bow for the right price.
Okay. And what would be your right price?
Well, I will be honest, and I guess I will do the kindly businesswoman thing. We're all fucked here one way or another if we stay. I was planning on leaving until your kind, gentle friend Nicola here convinced me to stay. Let's talk business when we're not dead. But we will talk business, and that will be my first night.
I'm a bit apprehensive that you say we'll talk business after everything is over. I'm sure you understand it's just the going rate here could fluctuate kind of however you feel like. So I'm a little bit put off by that. I myself have also dabbled in the mercenary lifestyle, and it's not something that I adhere to in regards to charging my clientele or people I'm helping after the whole situation. if you could give us some form of price range, so at least I could sleep more comfortable at night, knowing that you're not going to try and pull the wool over anyone's eyes.
That's fair. Since tonight's going to be especially dangerous, my usual rate will be higher than normal. I will charge you 30 for the day. If I take any harm, I will add 10 to that cost.
If you take harm, you want to charge us.
If I am hurt tonight, yes, I will charge more. I am not to be on the front lines, as you can probably tell, as she kind of arches her hips towards you to show off her bow. You put me in an elevated position and people will die. You do not cover my position, you'll pay for it. It doesn't sound unfair to me. Or I can just be on my way. Lucius, Drestov, and Morrigan, the three of you are finishing what you're doing and will be arriving in the town square during this conversation.
Oh god, a mercenary. Just what we fucking needed.
Evelyn is clearly all things in claws.
It's really not happy.
I am not happy to see Aaliyah.
That's a lot of work, Dressov. Let's hope that pays off.
The nice posturing I made.
Raring to go. This has been entertaining. I haven't gotten to do this. It's been so long.
Lucius went from one stressful conversation to another, seeing that there's a very tense conversation between this red armored woman, Evelyn, and Theo.
This day just keeps getting better and better.
And Nicholas just sitting there enjoying a lollipop.
Yep, I'm just being like, I brought you
She's
this
like,
one,
I'm
you can do
being
it."
helpful.
This looks intense.
So let's say this, right? To save the whole you just like, oh, my position, it's been overrun, I'll just run into this and take danger and take damage. How about I will give you 35 gold and there is no danger pay, because again, not something I've heard of. No offense, no offense meant by this. You don't know me, I don't know you, but I'm not inclined to go off of giving you money based on if you run in and take damage. That has never been something I've heard of before in my life as a mercenary. But I'm more than happy.
I'm sorry. 75 gold?
No.
35.
35.
Oh.
You need to check your head in there, Lucius.
Hey, old man.
So yeah, 35 gold. I'm willing to pay you a little bit more, but I'm just not comfortable with the whole 10 gold if you take damage, because again, I, as an opportunist, I would definitely throw myself in danger because I know I can retreat from it and get away safely. I'm sure you're the same, so yes, I'm not here to be swindled.
She has a smirk on her face as she recognizes that her little game has been caught. And she walks up to you and she puts her hand out. 35.
I will pay her 35 from my gold.
This woman better be worth the trouble, otherwise it will be one hell of an expensive prostitution gig, except you didn't even get the goods.
She draws her longbow. She takes 3 arrows at one time, knocks all 3 of them, and fires them over Lucius's head, since he's the most not paying attention. And all 3
I'm
sink.
staring and gawking.
All 3 will sink into the watermelons on the crate behind you. I'm worth my pay.
So what I would say then, sorry everyone, this is Elia. Her and Evelyn know each other. Nicola has
we're best friends. As she walks right up to Evelyn, nudges her a little bit. We go back way long ago.
Evelyn, if you need me to make sure you get personal space so I can body slam her, just say the word.
Oh, well, that's not very nice.
It's not nice.
I'm not paid to be
uncomfortable.
I'm not paid to be abused. There are different markets for that, and I am not in that one.
I mean, considering your dress and how much cleavage you show, could have fooled me.
Hey, some of us prefer to move rather than stand there and get hit. I see that you come from the culture that enjoys standing and getting hit, but I do not.
Absolutely. It's hilarious when they can't do anything. Good. Lucius?
I can stop
Mhm.
them from running away.
No, don't shoot them. That's a waste of ammo.
Good to know it's the waste of ammo that you're worried about.
Oh, I have
I
plenty.
mean, yeah, I am. Well, if you think it's worth it, but still, don't kill civilians for no reason. That's,
It's not no reason.
bad.
They're fleeing.
Yeah, and then they're just gonna get killed anyway and buy us a few more seconds as they get mauled to death.
It was just a joke.
I'm aware. But anyway, Lucius, do you think we can maybe install some ladders on top of the roof? That way she can run around like, I don't know, like an acrobat, I guess.
I mean, install. Don't they have ladders
Uh-huh.
here? We can just set it up next to. It would take less than a
Well-
moment.
Well, yeah, maybe, bang them into it with some nails so, it doesn't accidentally slip or anything in case it starts raining.